Let me get this straight. You think that...
This is fun.
I do. And I'm tired of pretending it's not.
G'day gamers, I think that Ghoul is the most interactive S-tier killer in the game. As I established in my last video, and as many of you are probably experiencing, most of your games are S-tiers right now if you're playing Survivor thanks to a plethora of decisions from behaviour, most notably turning every single map into an Amazon warehouse. Now, there are 4 S-tiers that you're going to come across most of the time in your matches: Blight, Nurse, Ghoul, and recently Krasu. Billy is also an S-tier, but like his parents, the killer player base don't like him.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just...
Or at least I barely see any. Probably has to do with the fact that he's very hard to play compared to all of the others. Anyway, back to the point. If I'm playing specifically against someone who is really good at the killer, I'll take a Ghoul all day every day because he has the most counterplay. For example, Nurse's downside is breaking line of sight. So every nurse just runs a bunch of aura read, completely removing her weakness, then rails you like you're on their hub. I don't know what you want me to edit here that's not going to get me demonetized. Every good Blight player snorts a line of G Fuel before they boot up the game, then hit you with these little numbers. Has he got awakened awareness? Are we actually running a play against a player with awakened awareness in the big 2025?
What the hell is even that?
Yeah, no guys, the Ghoul is the problem with the game. Bro just fucking turned 90 degree on a dime and can swung through a fucking... What was that? Krasu still has a hitbox the size of Roadhog, so it's like you're playing against a Chucky with permanent slice and dice and insane map pressure the entire map. While Ghoul is pretty consistent in what they can do and what they can't do no matter your skill level. Now that's not to say that good Ghouls and bad Ghouls are the same, they aren't. For example, good Ghouls are really good at cutting you off and baiting you into mistakes. But from a raw counterplay perspective, it's pretty similar between the two. There's nothing that a Ghoul can really do to overcome the weaknesses of the Ghoul from a raw skill expression perspective. Now there's probably already a comment from someone who hasn't got this far into the video yet, saying that Ghoul takes less skill than Blight or Nurse to play exceptionally well, which is an undeniable fact. What these people always conveniently forget to mention though, is Ghoul is weaker than these two killers and has a lower skill ceiling, meaning that Ghoul is easier to pick up, but also doesn't begin to reach the power level of the other two killers. There's a relatively hard limit on how well you can play the Ghoul, which is exploitable as a survivor. The other one is that Ghoul gets an injury for free, which is very true. However, the Ghoul also has to work much harder than the other 3 S tiers to get the follow-up hit, because unlike other S tiers, he can't directly down you with the power. This means from a chase perspective, the chase time generally evens out in my experience because it takes him longer to get that second hit. I think the biggest reason that Ghoul is so hated is you need a baseline knowledge on how to counter him, whereas Ghoul doesn't need that knowledge to start dealing out quite a lot of damage. However, once you know the counterplay, you'll find he's much easier to deal with. So, how do you counter Ghoul in your average solo queue match? It's quite simple. When he has tokens, don't press W and don't be a pre-drop parry. I'll show some footage of me looping one and then we'll go back and explain how I implemented these 2 strategies. Run the clip. My dickhead. Okay, so we have to try and get value out of the window while we can. Oh, he's just done me in. He's actually done me in. He's done me in. He's done me in. Oh my god, the ping diff! Guys, we've run to a dead zone. We found a dead zone on the map of whatever this is called. Can we get a doorway? Where's the doorway then? Where's the doorway then? Love you, Elodie. Honestly, he deserved that hit. Straight up. Also, I think there's a bug with Ghoul where his power seems to be... I shouldn't... I completely forgot how to counter him. There seems to be a bug on Ghoul where his power is being... His vault speed power Seems to be affected by vault speed perks. How you thought, mate? Guys, we've got the strongest puller in the game, dude. Oh my god. Now, a lot of things happened here with mistakes from both sides, which makes it a great case study. Let's start at the shack. Here, I use my lithe, but you'll notice I waste it to double back into the shack rather than making the distance. This is because Ghoul has her tokens. Remember rule 1, guys, don't shift W when she has her power. So I double backed into the shack, otherwise she would have cut me off and instantly killed me. The next thing I do is camp the window and block it. She's holding her power. If I vault this window, one thing's going to happen. She's going to grab me through it, vault this window at Mach 11 and instantly kill me. A mistake most survivors would make. But remember, she can't down directly with her power. So instead, I can just block her from the window while she's in power because she literally can't do anything. Then when she cancels her power to mouse 1 me, which you can tell has happened by using the audio cue, I can then vault a window, wasting time and staying alive. Then we get to the shack pallet and I camp it because remember, don't be a pre-drop Perry. I actually did pre-drop in this chase, so if we look at when I did that, you'll notice she just grabs me over the pallet, and this is why you don't want to pre-drop. Now, this worked out in this specific situation because I'm on an unsafe pallet, so I had time to make it back around the pallet. Doing this on safe and god pallets like the shack will get you killed. So, instead, you camp the pallet. But when do you actually throw the pallet, JC? Well, it's simple. 1. When the ghoul cancels his power. 2. If you can stun them. If the ghoul looks like this with their tentacles out straight, they're holding their power. Do not throw the pallet in this situation. Once the tentacles begin to go wide, they've cancelled their power and now it's safe to drop the pallet, just like the window earlier. So, stiff is bad, wide and floppy is good. It's like the opposite of a P. Now, with all this being said, I would be lying if I said I adore coming across ghouls. Honestly, I still roll my eyes when I hear the terror radius, but that's mainly as a result from overexposure to the killer as opposed to actually hating Ghoul as a killer. I would much rather play against Springtraps, Ghostfaces, Nemos, give me a Wesker any day of the week for God's sake. But the fact of the matter is, S tiers aren't going anywhere with the state of the game, and quite frankly, I will welcome a cracked Ghoul with open arms over an absolutely cracked Blight any day of the week. I point out Blight the most because I actually asked you guys who you prefer to play against for S tiers, and most of you voted Blight. Interestingly though, Ghoul actually came in second, which was a genuine surprise. I will also note, there is definitely bias here. Of the 4 main S tiers, Ghoul is the one that I actually play, so it makes sense that I know a lot of the counterplay, and therefore will enjoy playing against them the most, so I admit there definitely is bias. That being said, I still think that Billy's the most fun to play against. It's just a shame that no one wants to do it. Also, if you're wondering about the background gameplay, the Duo Swift instantly DC'd 30 seconds into the match, so I let Lara and the Lorry go. I'm not going to punish the people who actually stayed in the match, so please don't think that they were throwing the match or anything. They were just put in a shit situation by the other 2 selfish bastards. Anyway, hopefully I've helped some of you learn how to deal with the Ghoul a bit better. I'm going to go play some Battlefield 6 now. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now, gamers.